There are two filter wheels on Pro-EM. The manual filter wheel contains the Johnson Bessel filters, which are UBVRI. The filter is selected with this knob, labeled 1 through 5. There's also a blocking filter. When the knob is pulled out, the filter is clear. When it's pushed in, the filter is blocking. It's best just to leave it out all the time. The second filter wheel is the automated FLI wheel that can be controlled through light field. This contains BG40, the Sloan filters, an empty slot, and a blocking slide. Observers using the upper filter wheel with the Johnson Bessel UBVRI system often remove the U filter and replace it with this thin interference filter that blocks the near red. I'm going to show you how to install this interference filter without having to remove Pro-EM. We keep the filter at the Argos workstation desk in this cardboard box. Besides the filter envelope, we also have some supplies like tape for helping to remove the filter, an old BG40 filter, which I don't think is used, and some lens paper. I've removed the door, and I moved the filter position to about 1.5 so that I can see the position 1 and get my hand in there. It's pretty easy to remove the ring that keeps the filter from falling out. To install the filter, I'm going to wear gloves. It's just too easy to get a fingerprint in these cramped conditions. So I just move it right on to the square cutout, and I'll very carefully place it in there. Then I'll restore the ring that keeps the filter from moving around. Just press it in very lightly. Now, taking out the filter is a little more trouble, but it's not too hard. You can easily remove the ring by grabbing it from the corner of the square filter holder. In the box where we keep the filters, and also the index that tells you what the filter stacks are for UBVRI, we have a roll of magic tape. Just put a loop of this around your index finger. Then you can put your finger on the corner of the filter and lift it out, and then grab it with your thumb and say middle finger. So you can do this if you just have 3 fingers. Then you'll very carefully move it out and put it back into its envelope. So that's all there is to doing this filter change. So just to recap, when observers like Paul Mason are using the Johnson Bessel UBVRI system, make sure that position 1 has that thin film interference filter in it, and that you've left the filter wheel on manual position 1 and you've pulled the blocking filter. In that case, the FLI wheel will be left on the blank position so that you're just using the filters in the top wheel. For observers who are using the usual Sloan filters in BG40, you'll want to make sure that position 1 is empty. Nothing's in there, just leave the ring in there. Those observers will also need the filter wheel on position 1, so they're not getting any of the Johnson Bessel filters in the light path, and also have the blocking filter pulled out. You can just leave this pulled out all the time. Those observers will then use the Sloan filters BG40 and perhaps the blocking filter for doing darks. So now I've got it all taped up, the screw is back on, and we're done.